The stellar dawn glided silently through the cold void near Kepler 442. Captain Alex Morrison sat relaxed on the bridge, sipping his morning coffee. Just another routine day, or so he thought, until a sharp alarm rang from the comms panel. "Captain, urgent message from Earth Station 7, reported Officer Dave Kim, fingers flying across controls. The main screen lit up, revealing Admiral Roberts' troubled face. "Captain Morrison, reroute immediately. 3 unidentified ships are approaching the Proxima colony. They're not responding to hails, and they're not human." Morrison set down his coffee, alert now. In 15 years of command, he'd never faced alien contact. "How long do we have?" 6 hours, maybe less. Stellar Dawn is the closest vessel with diplomatic clearance. We need first contact. Find out their intentions. Dr. Lisa Park stepped onto the bridge as the message ended. Chief Medical Officer, small but sharp-eyed, with a career built on alien biology. "Did I hear that right? First contact?" 3 unknown ships, Alex confirmed. "Lisa, prep for medical engagement. We have no clue what they are biologically." Lisa nodded and rushed to the medbay. She powered up scanners, reviewed first contact protocols, and watched Earth's sensor data stream in, growing increasingly puzzled. The ships emitted biological signals, so they had living crews, but the life signs were bizarre. Heart rates swung wildly between 50 and 300 BPM, blood pressure readings lethal by human standards, body temperatures that should be fatal. Either their tech's busted, or these beings have the strangest physiology in the galaxy, she muttered. 2 hours later, Stellar Dawn reached the rendezvous. On the view screen, 3 immense vessels, strangely elegant, dark metal veined with glowing crystal, each twice the size of their ship. "Incoming signal," Dave said. The screen displayed an alien that made the entire bridge freeze. General Seth appeared sculpted from living rock, gray-textured skin, glowing blue eyes, 8 feet tall, with arms that looked like they could crush metal. "I am General Keith of the Valdroni Empire," he said, voice low and resonant but clearly translated. "We seek understanding. We wish for diplomatic contact." Captain Morrison stood. "Welcome, General Seth. I'm Captain Morrison of the Earth vessel Stellar Dawn. We are honored. Shall we meet in person?" Seth nodded. "Acceptable. We will send a delegation. We hope to learn of your biology and culture. Dr. Park, our medical officer, can assist. We're also eager to learn about your people." Lisa, heart racing, prepared her med bay. Her entire career led to this. She set up displays of human anatomy, ready to welcome beings from another world. An hour later, the Valdroni shuttle docked. General Seish arrived with 2 companions, Commander Vex, a science officer with high-tech instruments, and Captain Wren, a watchful warrior. Lisa marveled at their grace, despite their rocky build. When Seish accidentally cracked a panel, he immediately apologized. "Forgive me. We forget our strength among delicate materials." "No problem," Alex replied. "Our teams can handle it." They gathered in the med bay. Lisa began with basic human biology, diagrams of organs, systems, vital functions. Commander Vex scanned her, brows furrowing, if those rocky features even had brows. He whispered to Kuth. "Is something wrong?" Lisa asked. "Commander Vex is puzzled," Kuth replied. "Your vital signs should be fatal by our standards." Lisa laughed nervously. "What do you mean?" Vex spoke in thick, careful English. "Your heart rate, blood pressure, bone density indicate failure. Yet, you are standing." Lisa checked the scanner herself. Readings were normal for humans. "These are healthy ranges. Nothing unusual." The Valdroni exchanged a look. "Dr. Park?" Seish asked. "How does your kind survive? Your bodies seem Fragile. Lisa smiled. We kind of are. One heart. Bones break. We get sick from invisible microbes, but we're resilient. Vex scanned Captain Morrison, same impossible results. The aliens grew more uneasy. What kind of world do humans come from? Siath asked. Earth, Alex said. Beautiful but wild. Oceans, mountains, weather, predators, natural disasters, disease. It's challenging, but it's home. Challenging how? Wren asked, finally speaking. Well, Alex said, storms, floods, quakes, volcanoes, dangerous animals, gravity that tires you out. But we adapt. The Valdroni were quiet, their expressions concerned. On our world, Keth said slowly, there are no predators, no disasters. We evolved with cooperation, not conflict. The idea of survival through competition is unsettling. Lisa began to understand. They were peaceful by nature. Earth was forged in struggle. Vex stared at his scanner. Human data defied everything he knew. One heart, exposed brains, fragile, systems surviving on a hostile planet. To the Valdroni, humanity's weakness looked impossible. But as they watched, a new fear formed. What if this fragility hid something much more powerful? What if survival itself had made humans more dangerous than they appeared? The next morning, General Keith couldn't sleep. Uneasy, he summoned Vex and Wren to his glowing crystal quarters. Show me the data again, he said. Vex activated his scanner, replaying human biology. I've studied 17 species across 12 systems, he said. These numbers make no sense. Heart rates, too slow. Blood pressure, too low. Bone density, paper thin. And yet, Vex added, they walk, speak, breathe, like nothing is wrong. Wren leaned forward. They move without pain, no hesitation. Exactly, Seath said. Which leaves two possibilities. Either humans use advanced medical tech to mask failing bodies, or what? Vex asked. Or they come from a world so brutal that surviving it forged strengths we cannot see. Later that day, both crews gathered again for cultural exchange. Humans shared art, music, science. The Valdroni presented their shimmering crystal art and philosophy of balance and peace. Lisa, thrilled, asked about Valdroni biology. Commander, Vex, she beamed. Your species is amazing. Dual hearts, backup organs, you must be nearly impossible to kill. Vex nodded. If one heart fails, the second sustains. Our backup liver filters toxins. We evolved for survival redundancy. Incredible, Lisa said. Humans have no backups. If our heart fails, we die in minutes. The Valdroni exchanged glances again. Captain Wren scribbled notes. Dr. Park, General Keith said carefully, how do humans survive with such vulnerable bodies? Tom laughed, not understanding their concern. We're not as fragile as we sound. Sure, we can get hurt, but we heal pretty well. Our immune systems fight off diseases, we adapt to different environments, and we've developed solid medical tech to help when things go wrong. At that moment, Engineer Tom Brady entered the conference room carrying tools and equipment samples. He was a cheerful man in his 30s who loved demonstrating human engineering to anyone who would listen. Sorry I'm late, Tom said, setting his tools on the table. I was fixing the temperature control system in Section C. These old systems need constant maintenance. As he spoke, Tom pulled out a compact cutting device to demonstrate human tool design. He activated it, revealing an energy beam that sliced easily through several sample materials. This is a standard plasma cutter, he explained to the fascinated Valdroni. We use it for precision work in ship repairs and construction. While adjusting the settings, Tom's hand slipped. The plasma beam grazed his left palm, leaving a 2-inch gash. Bright red blood flowed immediately from the wound. Damn it, Tom muttered, examining the injury. The three Valdrani jumped to their feet in alarm. Commander Vex activated his medical scanner instantly, while Captain Wren reached for what appeared to be emergency medical supplies. "Dr. Park," General Scythe called urgently. "Your crew member is severely injured." Lisa glanced at Tom's hand and responded casually, "Oh, that's not too bad, Tom. There's a first aid kit in the wall panel behind you." Tom walked calmly to the wall, opened the panel, and pulled out a small white box. The Valdrani watched in stunned silence as he cleaned the wound with an antiseptic wipe, applied medical gel, and sealed it with a simple adhesive bandage. "There we go," Tom said, flexing his bandaged hand. "Should be fine in a few days." He sat back down and resumed his presentation as if nothing had happened. Commander Vex stared at his scanner readings. The wound had penetrated multiple tissue layers. By Valdrani standards, such an injury required immediate surgical repair, cellular regeneration therapy, and at least 3 days of recovery in a medical chamber. "Engineer Brady," Vex said, voice unsteady. "Are you not in pain?" Tom glanced at his hand. "It stings a bit, but it's not bad. I've had worse cuts working on machinery. Last month, I cut myself worse than this fixing the food processor. Needed 4 stitches that time." "4 stitches?" Captain Wren echoed. "Yeah," Tom replied. "They sewed the skin back together with thread. Healed up perfectly. You can barely see the scar now." He held up his other hand, showing a faint line. The Valdrani looked horrified. In their medical history, using thread to close wounds was an ancient, primitive method abandoned thousands of years ago. Dr. Park noticed their expressions. "Are you okay? You all look concerned." "Dr. Park," General Keith said slowly, "on our world, a wound like Engineer Brady's would demand immediate surgery, regeneration therapy, and extensive recovery. How can he continue functioning?" "Human bodies are pretty good at healing themselves," Lisa explained. "We form blood clots to stop bleeding. New tissue grows to repair damage. It takes time, but it works. Tom's cut will heal completely in about a week." "Without medical intervention?" Vex asked. "The bandage and antiseptic help prevent infection." "But mostly, his body will do the rest," Lisa replied. "Humans have been healing from injuries like this for thousands of years, even before modern medicine." Tom nodded enthusiastically. "Oh, yeah. I've broken bones, torn muscles, had concussions, all sorts of injuries. The human body is tougher than it looks. I broke both legs skiing 2 years ago. Spent 6 weeks in a cast, then I was fine." "6 weeks?" General Cuth repeated faintly. "Well, maybe 8 weeks to be completely back to normal," Tom corrected. "But I was walking again after 4. Commander Vex checked his scanner again. "According to Valdrani medical science, regenerating bone tissue, repairing muscles, and recovering from head trauma required massive energy input. Yet humans managed it routinely, multiple times in a lifetime." As the meeting continued, the Valdrani began forming unsettling conclusions. These humans, with their seemingly weak bodies and primitive treatments, were somehow surviving injuries that should be fatal. They healed from trauma without advanced tech. They spoke of broken bones and head injuries like they were mere inconveniences. To the Valdrani, this could mean only one thing. Humans were far more dangerous than they appeared. Any species that could survive such trauma and still function must possess hidden strengths, perhaps even advanced capabilities they were deliberately concealing. General Seateeth decided he needed to learn far more about these mysterious beings before allowing further interaction. That evening, aboard the Valdrani, flagship Crystal Harmony, General CTH called an emergency meeting. The ship's crystalline walls shimmered with data projections as his top officers gathered, all visibly concerned. "Officers," Seath began, his deep voice echoing through the chamber, "we have a serious problem. These humans are not what they appear to be." Commander Vex stood, activating a holographic display. "General, I've spent the entire day analyzing human biological data. My conclusion is disturbing. Humans come from what we must now classify as a Class 12 death world. Gasps and murmurs filled the room. In Valdrani classification, anything above Class 8 was considered uninhabitable by intelligent life. "Explain your findings," General Kath ordered. Vex pointed to the display showing Earth's planetary stats. First, their gravity. Earth has 1.2 times the gravitational force of our homeworld. That means humans spend their entire lives carrying more weight than we can endure for even a few hours. Yet they move, run, jump, and labor unaided. Monitoring internal transmissions from the stellar dawn, and their casual discussions only deepen our concerns, Vex reported gravely. Their security chief, Mike Rogers, is planning to show us recordings of their so-called recreational activities. General, they appear to involve deliberate exposure to lethal environments and high-speed combat simulations, again, for enjoyment. General Seath's crystalline fingers clenched slightly on the edge of the table. They are training their civilians to thrive in conditions that would require military-grade preparation for us, he said quietly. Yes, sir, Vex continued. To them, jumping from orbit with minimal safety gear, diving into predator-infested oceans or racing at speeds that shatter bone on impact is considered fun. And these are not anomalies, they celebrate it. Film festivals, competitions, and entire media channels are devoted to these death-defying acts. Captain Wren leaned forward, visibly disturbed. So, what we consider specialized elite training, they consider leisure. Science Officer Dal nodded solemnly. And worse, they share these experiences with children. I analyzed human education, protocols. Many involve early exposure to high-risk activities under the label of physical education. Their young are taught to fall, to endure, to fight, to strategize, all before reaching full biological maturity. General South rose again, turning to the main display. And still they smile. Still, they speak kindly and offer us open cooperation. How do you reconcile that with the clear indicators of a warrior species? Vex paused. I cannot, General. But I do not believe it is a contradiction. I believe we are facing a species that became dominant not through conquest, but through survival. They do not seek violence, but they are prepared for it on every level of their society, mentally, biologically, socially. Silence held the room for several seconds. Then Captain Wren spoke, his voice low. What if we provoke them by accident? What if something we say or do triggers a response from instincts shaped by that environment? What happens when one of them feels truly threatened? General Seath turned slowly toward his command staff, his face lit by the flickering holographic. Images of humans skiing down cliffs, diving into stormy seas, racing jet-powered vehicles, and sparring in brutal fighting rings. Then, Captain, he said, we may learn what a Class 12 Death World species is truly capable of, and by then, it may be too late. He turned off the display. We proceed with diplomacy, but prepare our defenses. Until we understand the limits of human restraint, we must assume they have none. Far across the stars, aboard the Stellar Dawn, Captain Alex Morrison cheerfully queued up a video montage labeled Best of Human Adventure Sports, 4K compilation. Let's show them what being human really means, he said, and so, with the best of intentions, humanity's most terrifying cultural misunderstanding began. They call it a science vessel, Captain Morrison said, analyzing the specs of the Stellar Dawn. But its defensive systems rival military cruisers. General Kauth frowned. If this is standard for research ships, I'm deeply concerned. About their actual warships. What exactly did you find? He asked. Captain Wren scrolled through the data. Their shields can endure direct asteroid collisions. Their so-called defensive weapons include plasma cannons capable of vaporizing small moons. And their engines? capable of interstellar travel in days, not months. Wren looked up. These specs align with our most advanced battleships, and they classify this as a civilian research vessel. Exactly, General Kauth muttered. If this is civilian tech, their military power must be staggering. Just then, Science Officer Dal entered with fresh intel. General, I've been reviewing Dr. Park's scans of our crew. She claims it's for cultural exchange, but the depth suggests tactical analysis. Explain, General Kauth ordered. She mapped our cellular structure, bone density, even neural pathways. This could help them engineer bioweapons or identify weak points, Commander Vex added. And Engineer Brady casually handles high-risk tools with expert precision. That's not maintenance. That's disguised weapons training. General, Kauth's jaw tightened. Do you believe they're preparing for conflict? Captain Wren replied cautiously. Consider this. They're always smiling, teeth bared. Among most species, that's a threat gesture. Or a predator's mask, Vex said. A friendly facade until it's time to strike. Later, both. Crews gathered in the Stellar Dawn's recreation deck. Security Chief Mike Rogers had arranged a cultural showcase, eager to highlight humanity's joyful side. Welcome, friends. Mike beamed at the three Valdrani. Today, I'll show you how humans have fun. He activated the screen. A video played, humans leaping from airplanes. This is skydiving, Mike explained. We jump from aircraft thousands of feet up, then land safely using parachutes. It's a popular hobby. The Valdrani stared in horror. General, Commander Vex whispered, is this aerial combat training? It must be, General Kauth replied. Mike continued, oblivious. And this is rock climbing, scaling cliffs with ropes and minimal gear, great for building strength and focus. Captain Wren scribbled notes. Vertical infiltration drills disguised as sport. Now whitewater rafting, Mike said as the screen showed humans navigating raging rivers in tiny boats. To them, this looked like aquatic assault practice. Here's surfing, Mike said next. We ride massive ocean waves on thin boards. For fun. Dal recoiled. Only a combat species would seek out lethal natural forces for recreation. Mike grew more excited. Mountain biking, bungee jumping, motor racing. Humans love adrenaline. General Kauth watched footage of humans diving off bridges, racing machines at breakneck speeds, and biking treacherous slopes. How often? Do humans do these? He asked. Oh, millions, Mike said. Kids start young. Rock climbing, competitive sports, wilderness survival at summer camps. Commander Vex blinked. Your children receive tactical survival training? Sure. Mike grinned. It builds confidence. The Valdrani exchanged uneasy looks. Just then, Dr. Park entered. Mike, show them the martial arts footage. Great idea. New clips played. Humans boxing, grappling, striking. We've developed dozens of fighting styles, Mike said, for fitness, discipline, and fun. General Kauth leaned forward. This is entertainment? Very popular, Mike said. Millions train for sport or self-defense. Captain Wren frantically noted, civilian population widely trained in hand-to-hand combat. And this, Mike added, is American football, kind of like mock warfare. Players wear armor, fight for territory. It's our top sport. Vex stared at the screen, organized assaults, protective gear, strategic formations. How popular? General Kauth asked. Played nationwide, from school leagues to professional teams. To the humans, it was recreation. To the Valdrani, it looked like global military readiness disguised as play. 3 days later, tensions simmered. Neither side realized the other's growing suspicion. On board the Stellar Dawn, Engineer Tom Brady noticed irregular energy patterns. Captain, Valdrani ships are charging shields and forming defensive positions. Captain Morrison frowned. Are you certain? Sir, their energy signatures match pre-battle formations in our database. He summoned Dr. Park and Mike Rogers. Lisa, did we do something threatening? Not that I know of, she said. Every exchange has been cordial. All systems normal, Mike reported. No weapons active, shields at minimum. Then, why are they bracing for battle? Morrison asked. Aboard the Crystal Harmony, Vex briefed General Koth. The humans are scanning us, tracking our formations. They're assessing our defenses. This confirms our fears, Wren said. They're preparing a strike. General Koth stayed calm. Prepare defenses. Maintain communication. We won't attack, but we must be ready. Both sides edged toward a conflict neither of them actually wanted. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. In her lab, Dr. Park analyzed Valdrani biology, then had a realization. Computer. Display Valdrani planetary data. Low gravity. Stable climate. No predators. Cooperative evolution. Now compare with Earth's. High gravity. Extreme weather. Predators. Resource competition. Lisa stared, stunned. We've been interpreting everything wrong. She rushed to the bridge. Captain, I need to speak with the Valdrani. Now. Lisa, it's tense right now, Morrison warned. That's exactly why we need to talk. A live feed opened. General Koth appeared, guarded. Dr. Park? General, Lisa said. I believe there's been a major misunderstanding. Your species evolved in peace, abundant resources, no predators. You developed through cooperation. That is correct. Humans evolved on a death world. Earth tried to kill us every day. We didn't become warriors. We became problem solvers. We adapted. We learned to survive. Commander Vex stepped in. Earth is Class 12. We assumed your strength meant aggression. Our strength is adaptation, Lisa explained. We climb, swim, and fight not to dominate, but to prepare. We made survival into sport because it was the safest way to practice. Captain Morrison added, When you see humans take risks, you're seeing how we overcome fear, not how we train for war. Tom Brady entered. Space is even deadlier than Earth. We needed tough ships and shields to survive, not to fight. Lisa pulled up side-by-side comparisons. When we entered space, our tech was primitive, but we adapted fast because we're used to hostile environments. General Koth looked thoughtful. You're saying humans aren't a warrior species? We can fight, Morrison said, but we prefer to solve problems. Commander Vex reviewed data again. Your engineer's injury tolerance, your sports, it's all normal? Lisa nodded. We've evolved to recover quickly. That's not training. That's necessity. And your children? We teach them survival skills to build confidence. It's part of growing up on a dangerous planet. Captain Wren lowered his tablet. So what we saw as military preparation was adaptation? Exactly, Lisa said. Your peaceful world shaped your view. Our harsh world shaped ours. Neither is wrong, just different. General Koth's expression softened. Perhaps we feared your strength, when we should have admired your resilience. In the days that followed, understanding bloomed. Joint medical exchanges began. Engineers collaborated. Security teams swapped philosophies. What started as suspicion became partnership. The danger had never come from weapons, only from misinterpretation, as the Stellar Dawn and Crystal Harmony prepared to part ways. Both crews had learned a vital truth. Strength takes many forms, and sometimes the path to peace begins with simply listening.